Thank you for joining Asia's best radio station.
www.ballyballyradio.co.uk brings you the latest Bollywood news, updates and film promos. Download latest podcasts of Carry On Harry Show on iTunes.
Now shake hands with celebrities on Singapore Talk Show. Carry On Harry.
Inviting music composers, producers, artists on board on Carry On Harry Talk Show for connecting you to worldwide audience. Write to Harry Johal at carryonharry.com or visit www.carryonharry.com for more details.
Hi friends, welcome to yet another show with your talk show host Harry Johal. Today we are going to invite very special guests joining us from New Zealand for the very first time. A-Flow and Urge are two musicians who have been working for a few years to create their music, and they are about to release 3 albums very soon on the digital platforms. So we thought, why not to get in connection with them and reveal their story, because the story of Urge is very, very inspiring for somebody who is trying to create his identity, even though got a few of health challenges, but I won't reveal it, and I would like Urge to tell himself about his story, and so let's get in connection with them and get to know more about these two young talented musicians from New Zealand. Hello.
Hello, Harry.
Hi, Urge. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Well, I'm pretty excited to listen from you about your upcoming music. I know you are passionate kind of musicians, so tell me, how is the feeling for you right now?
Well, this is the first international interview we've actually done, so we're pretty nervous and pretty excited.
Well, no need to feel nervous, only feel excited, that's all I want, because feel at home.
Okay.
Yeah. So tell us something about, your upcoming 3 releases. How come you are putting 3 albums on release at one go?
Well, that's actually a funny thing, because with Ivy Blue, Harry, there's actually different sides to us. We found that with what we were doing, we had lots of these different moods, but there wasn't a lot of clarity. And then about 3 months ago, when we were listening back to everything, we saw that certain songs had certain tracks. So we decided to, in a way, sort of put the common things together and be able to show lots of different moods instead of just one which has mixed emotions.
Correct. You guys have been making music for, quite a while now. Would you like to tell me, how did both of you, come on one platform and try to, unite together to create your kind of music, which is the alternative rock music?
Well, that's interesting. Well, we've known each other since pretty much kindergarten, primary school, and we've played in bits and pieces here and there. We've joined other things together. We've done lots of different bits and pieces. But I guess November last year was really when we said, right, we want to get together, just the two of us, and do some stuff, because it's something we really want to do.
Okay, that's lovely. And individually, how do you define your personalities when it comes to A-Flow and when it comes to Urge? How would you like to define your personalities as an individuals?
Well, in some ways we're alike, in some ways we're not. The reason for the nicknames is because there's been, obviously with what I have to go through and some of the things that have happened that have been not so great, we just go on the asylums more or less as a privacy thing, so that way we can still lead a normal life when we're not doing all that sort of thing.
Okay. When you say that, normal life, what do you actually mean? Would you like to, tell my listeners what are the challenges, that you are facing?
Well, of course, I've got neurological problems, which we don't need to go into too much detail about. But of course, there's been things, when I mean normal, I mean we can just go to school, we can do things that normal people would be able to do that are not highly elevated. So the reason for the nicknames is we want to keep the characters and actual people who, I guess, create them separate people, and we have separate lives outside of that. Music is our life, but not exactly our life.
Okay. So, Urj, for you, like, how has music, changed your life? Means this is the time, from your childhood to this date. How has music been something, a guiding force in your life? Would you like to tell my listeners the kind of passion you hold for music?
Well, I was born with an extreme form of autism and ADHD, and for a while we thought I was going to have that all my life. Then I started listening to music from people like Queen, Robbie Williams, U2, R.E.M., and over the years, music's actually helped me go from being right on the extreme autism scale right down to the point where it virtually doesn't exist. So music's been a huge part of my life, and it's something that only I really know, and it's hard to explain.
Mm-hmm. Okay, before we will be actually discussing about, your 3 albums, that's why I'm more keen to, know about your life and, the kind of challenges that a new musician faces, despite all those things, because through your story, a lot of other people who sometimes feel let down in their life, they are being discouraged by other people, or they feel that, they are not capable of doing what they should be doing. So through your story, a lot of people will feel motivated that, despite challenges in life, a person can really make up into his life with the dedication. So what sort of support did you get from people around your life when you expressed your desire that you wanted to create music? Were people standing with you, or were there like some odds that you have to really prove out to them also?
Well, my family, who are actually in the room with me, shout out to Sarah and Mum and Arthur.
Okay.
They've been extremely supportive. My father and stepmother have been quite supportive. Generally, everyone's been on the bandwagon with this. Of course, there are normally 1 or 2 people who don't quite like what you're doing, but you'll get that with anyone. Generally, we've both been supported quite well by our families and our close friends, and it's been a blessing for us.
Correct. And it should exist, in anybody's life. Yeah, like, without the proper support, sometimes, a person might, not be able to get the things done at an early stage. It may take a little bit of time. And I would like to, congratulate your family that, you are a born talent, and, you were born to be a musician. And I'm equally very thankful to them that, they stood with you, not just as a person in your life, but also with your talent itself.
Pardon?
Yeah, I said that we should really thank your parents also, that they stood by you, to support your talent, and it's a great thing.
Sorry about that.
No problem. We'll be moving ahead after this. Okay, now since you are releasing 3 albums altogether, which was your first album? Was it Reveal? Was it World Magnetic, or was it Illusions? Which was the first piece of work from you guys?
Well, we're actually releasing them backwards. The first one we finished was Reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got to World Magnetic, and then inevitably Illusions, but we're releasing them Illusions first and going through to Reveal. That's more or less to do with the release dates.
Correct. So in these 3 albums, I think there are about 25 plus.
25 in total.
Yeah, 25 in total. So while you were, creating this music, what kind of experimentation of style you have done with yourself? Have you stick to one genre of music, or have you, tried to, attempt in different genres?
Well, personally, I disagree with the genre thing, because really genres is breaking the rules of music in different ways. There's your country, there's your alternative like us, there's your pop and your rock. Some break the rules more than others. I guess more or less we try and tread in any area. We're open to any ideas, and really we're just wanting to make music that we'd be happy with, because if we're not happy with it, what's the point in releasing it?
Absolutely right. I do agree with you that, unless you have got the passion, it doesn't make means what genre you are picking up. But since you have attempted to create music in different categories, would you like to explain a little bit about what is your music creation process like? Means how do you decide upon that you want to create a particular track? Let's say you pick up any of your track, and would you like to give up an example, like how did the process of creating that music really happened?
Well, first, of course, it's got to start with the idea, because the idea really catapults the whole thing. If you don't have an idea, you've got nothing. Then from there, really, we just put on the bones. Like, we work out a really rough version. I'll use Forever December as an example. The original version went for around 6.5 minutes, and we knew that wasn't going to make the cut. So we listened back to it, took out the bits we really liked and the bits that told the story really well, and then threw out the rest. Of course, everything's inspired by something in real life, so we tried to really push the inspiration and try to push the ideas behind everything as much as we could. And after a time or 2 or 10, sometimes 20 or 25, by then we'll actually get the end product. It's just really playing around with it and being open to all ideas.
Correct. And when you decide upon, a particular types of lyrics for the song, do you write your own lyrics, or do you seek help from other people, to, put up the words, the thoughts that you want to express, and then you create the tune about it?
No, what we do is we write everything ourselves. There's no outside writers. Sometimes if a friend's around, we might ask for their input and their opinion and see if they've got any ideas, but we do a lot of it ourselves. Because what I find is that with a lot of the American Idol, X Factor junk, they just get everything done to them. They're just force-fed. We don't want to be force-fed. We don't want to be the next techno. We don't want to be the next lip sync. We don't want to be the next anywhere. We want to be the first us, and in order for that to happen, we've kind of got to write our own stuff.
That's great. That spirit speaks about your passion, that you want to create everything out of what comes within you, and your musical expression, is your musical signature when it comes to putting up a track for the public. Another thing which has just popped up in my mind is that what kind of lyrics try to what kind of music do you like to write? In fact, I would want to know, different times people have got different kind of thoughts. So when you sit alone, or you are in the process of writing the lyrical part of the track, what exactly touches your mind? How do you write it? Means what are the things that inspires you to write those kind of lyrics?
Well, it depends on which sort of song you talk about. I mean, there are some that are based on real life things that we've actually gone through. Some are based on things like politics and things that are wrong with the world that are actually really screwed up. It could be based on all sorts of things, but the idea is that we also leave the audience to imagine what they think the track could be about. We don't tend to share the exact stories too much, although we always have an idea of it. We want to more or less allow people to also have their own imagination. That's something I think is really missing from music listeners today.
Correct. And how are you going to deal with the competition? Music, like if we go to iTunes or any other musical platform, we see that there is so much of music being, uploaded as a kind of a digital jungle now, and how any marketing strategy you are adopting, or what are you relying on so that more and more people come, even though your music has been very, very appreciated on Reverberation and other platforms, but for releasing it on a commercial platform, it's really quite challenging. So what is your strategy about it?
The strategy, well, we're working with guys called Rootnote. They're dealing with all the distribution and stuff. We're obviously doing the things like talking to you and talking to all these other guys to get the momentum out there. We're doing a lot of what we can here in New Zealand, even with the fact that Flo's not actually with us right now. He's in Hardware doing some work with his family. So really, we're doing everything we can. Of course, keeping in mind that some of that stuff can get quite controversial. Take, for example, the U2 stuff that's just been out recently. I personally love it. Some people, like Sharon Osbourne, they hate the idea. So that's really, it's a jungle, but you've got to stay one step ahead, but not push it too far.
Absolutely. I do agree with you that, you have to put your, best efforts forward by, putting up yourself on various radio stations,
Hello?
talk shows. Yes, I'm able to hear you. Are you getting me? even though right now we are missing your partner Aflo also on the show, but it's really pleasure talking to you, Urge, that I'm trying to get a lot of things from a youngster who is creating music and who wants to make up big in the world of music. So tell me, like, what musical vision do you hold in your mind? How do you see yourself 3 years from now?
3 years from now?
Yep.
Well, 3 years from now, we want to still be doing this. We want to still be able to have the appreciation we've got. We want to be able to share it with people. We hope that one day we might actually get out to Singapore and some of these other places later on. 3 years from now, it's hard to tell for us. We just want to be able to keep making music and doing it well.
That's great. That's the spirit. And who are the musical influences in your life right now? What kind of music journey you want to pursue? Any role models you have in mind right now? Who are inspiring you in the world of commercial music?
Well, in the world of music, we've got a lot of influences. Some of them are local, like the latest Fallout from New Zealand. We've got Evermore. We've got some of the more upbeat guys like Queen, U2, R.E.M. There's a whole mix of guys. Ideally, we'll listen to anything, but between me, you, and all our friends in Singapore, Justin Bieber sucks.
Okay, all right. So I hope that you enjoyed your talks on Carry On Harry Talk Show, and it was really pleasure on my end. That I got to know more about you and the kind of journey that you want to pursue ahead. So any message that you would love to give to the listeners, or you want to inform them when are the 3 albums releasing, and what are the platforms where they can download this music?
All right. Hello, Singapore! Urge from Ivy Blue here. You can get Illusions, Reveal, and World Magnetic from October 21, 22, and 23 from your iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, Spotify, Redo, Deezer, Xbox, I believe, and YouTube. We're looking forward to hearing what you've got back, and hopefully we'll be down your way sooner rather than later. It's been great talking to you, Harry, and thank you for a wonderful chat.
Wow, man, you are really genius, and I do appreciate. Keep that spirit up, and our talks are already over. I have already recorded the talk show part, in fact, I'll be sending you something, as my appreciation to you. It's a kind of my expression of love for you, because I read your profile. I went to your musical site, and I really want to support artists like you, so that's why shortly from now,
absolutely.
Shortly from now you will be receiving an email from me with 3 attachments, because right now, before we were talking, I was actually working on that, and in fact I forgot that it's already 2 o'clock. That's why when you called me up, I was working on something which I want to give you as a surprise. So just wait for some more time, and I'll be dispatching you that thing.
No worries. Thank you very much, Harry.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah, you too. Take care, and lot of regards to your family, and thanks to them that they keep on supporting you, and definitely you will be rock in your world. May God bless you.
Thanks to you. See you at some point in the future. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for being in tune with Best Talk Show. Carry On Harry with entertainment editor Harry Johal on balaballaradio.co.uk. Inviting music composers, producers, artists on board on Carry On Harry Talk Show for connecting you to worldwide audience. Write to Harry Johal at carryonharry.com or visit www.carryonharry.com for more details.